Hello, I'm River. I'm an astrologer based out of Detroit, and I specifically like to focus on creative unblocking, creative expression, and I'm a Hellenistic astrologer. I use whole sign houses, and I specifically use a book called the Book of Houses. That's for the cover. And I love this book. It's basically an astrological guide to the harvest cycle of human life. So, if you don't know, now you know. We're going to be going over Cancer risings. I was feeling especially cozy. And you might be asking yourself, what is the harvest cycle of human life? That's an amazing question. This is a form of astrology that basically turns you into a farmer for your blessings. So, this type of astrology asks you to connect with the rhythms and cycles of the seasons. And the seasons are, because I'm a Hellenistic astrologer and I use whole sign astrology, the seasons are actually set up in each house. So, we're going to be going into Virgo season and what this means for Cancer risings. So it's really important that you have your rising sign for this type of astrology because it's based off of your ascendant. It's assuming that your ascendant is right on that first house. So without further ado, I put a little lip gloss on. I'm wearing a NYX, I think the NYX Lava Cake lip gloss. And other than that, I just showered. I'm wearing no makeup and I'm feeling very inspired by my birthday twin, Pamela Anderson. I'm birthday twins with Pamela Anderson and Princess Diana, and I feel especially inspired by Pamela Anderson's decision to use her creative platform as a celebrity to experiment later in life with wearing zero makeup and having zero glam team. I love to see it. So, for Cancer risings in particular, we're going to be going over the major transits for Virgo season for you. And then we are also going to be going over a tarot pull and a feelings and needs card pull. So, this is going to be the feelings and needs that you need to meet and pay attention to for Virgo season, as well as just some tarot to help keep you on the right path. So, without further ado, on August 22nd, the sun moves into Virgo. So this is going to be in the third house. And for me, as a Cancer rising, I it's obviously like pretty easy to speak from experience because I've been doing this kind of work for years with this book. But this is the time that is ruled by Mercury. It is ruled by Gemini. The third house, I start to feel a little bit squirrely. And it's not the type of squirrely that I feel during the 12th house because for some reason 12th house stuff is very difficult for me. But this is just a time where I can start to have some anxiety. And I am going to be reading a little bit from this book. It says, during the third house, you'll find yourself studying all the things you need to know to make your dream vision a reality. Because if you think about it like this, we planted our seeds in the 11th house. And when you plant your seeds in the 11th house, it basically goes into the ground. In the 12th house is when it's fully in the ground and it's germinating. The first house, and actually right before the first house, is your resurrection day where you sprout up like a little seed from the ground. And the first house can feel super, super vulnerable. So for Cancer risings, like around your birthday, can feel like I just want to be alone. I want to be in my shell. It's totally normal. Second house, what we're experiencing currently is where we reach out for the resources like a plant that has just spread out roots. And in the third house, we become like a student. So the young plant puts out leaves that can produce oxygen in exchange for carbon dioxide. These leaves also send the plant information: where it's sunny, where it's shady, what direction presents the greatest opportunity for unobstructed growth. The third house is a time when the world starts sending you messages. It seems like there's information everywhere, so you can have a little bit of information overload during this time. A particular cause of anxiety in relation to your harvest cycle is the fact that you are very far from harvest at this time. Harvest Day is still 6 months in the future. And let me tell you, if you follow this kind of astrology, your harvest day will be beautiful. I had a very beautiful harvest day this past season, and it provided, a beautiful harvest for the next year to come. So, harvest is a long way away, and as a farmer, like you might be running out of food in your cabinets at this point. You might be like, "Oh my gosh, like I actually really need some food. Everything I canned and stored from winter is actually starting to dwindle down." It says the only way to deal with these anxieties is to train your mind to be patient. The hunger for knowledge is supposed to be helpful. Don't let it turn into panic at this time. There's a tendency to feel insecure about your opinions, to feel that you don't know enough about what you're trying to do. And the positive response to this is to let yourself be inspired with curiosity to go out and learn and to find out more about your reality. So, this is a really good time to have a beginner mindset, to be like a child and to soak up all the information you can, as well as being discerning about what is coming in. And panic and despair can start to set in, and you can start to feel like I'm tired of being here all alone. I'm just a little plant. That's okay. Everything's going to change. We go through cycles and seasons. You can think about the wishes that you wrote down during your 11th house, and if you haven't written them down, this is a really good opportunity to retroactively go back in time and do that. I'm a big believer that time is nonlinear. You can absolutely start setting this intention of laying down seeds and kind of take yourself through those steps from the 11th, 12th, first, and second house. And you can even go through the other signs videos and see where they're at and do some catch up work. But you're definitely going to want to catch up on like friendships and stuff like that. This is a really good time to do that because honestly, since the 11th house, it's like I personally have been a hermit. I've been a hermit. It's been hard to get me out of the house. Like in the 12th house, the first house, and the second house. The second house is really when I start to, Leo season is when I start to get out there. And we've been dealing with these retrogrades. We had 4 planets retrograde at once during Leo season and Cancer season. So, don't be hard on yourself if you just haven't gotten out there. Definitely explore new languages and new ways of expressing yourself. This is an amazing time to travel, to learn, go to the library, and train your mind to be patient. So, we're going to get into the transits now. I know that was a bit of a long intro, but I think it's important to know what's going on for this season so that you can set yourself up and position yourself accordingly, in order to get the most that you can out of this harvest. So, on August 23rd, we have the new moon in Virgo, which is going to be in the third house. So during this new moon in Virgo, this is a great time to set an intention to grow and to be patient, and also to set the intention to nourish yourself if you start to get anxiety during this time, if you start to have panic and despair. I personally was feeling these feelings earlier today, so it's like it can, come in right as we are on the tail end of Leo season, getting ready for the third house season for Cancer risings. But that's a great time to set the intention and say, I'm going to nourish myself if I get anxiety and panic and despair. If I get anxiety and panic and despair, this is what I'm going to do for myself. I'm going to make this tea for myself. I'm going to journal. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to go phone a friend, get out of this headspace. So on August 25th, we have Venus entering Leo. That is going to be Venus entering our second house. So this is honestly a great time to do some catch up work back on this second house. If during Leo season you did not, if you're looking for a job and you haven't gotten a job, this is a great time to tend to those Venusian aspects of life: higher education, beauty, things of that nature, just adorning yourself, maybe even doing some money magic during this Venus in Leo time, because this is a great time for us Cancer risings to manifest the physical resources that we need. Because during the second house, as plants, we send our roots out to get the information. On August 31st, we have the first quarter moon. And for us, this is going to be in our 6th house in Sagittarius. So I personally love to add the quarter moons in here because they can be like little crisis points for us that check in with the intentions that we set during the new moon or the full moon. So this is kind of a callback to the new moon. And during the new moon, if you set those intentions to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do for myself when I have anxiety, then with the 6th house, during this first quarter moon in Sag, even though it is just a moon cycle, we are cancerizing. So we are exponentially that much more affected by the moon. But with the 6th house, this is going to be focused on our health. This is a really good time to remind yourself if you're having health anxiety, everything's going to be okay. And honor your body's needs for that day, and honor, like, if you're having some health anxiety, to reassure yourself to go back to your new moon intentions and go back to your 11th house seeds that you planted, because you probably planted seeds to be healthy in there some way or another. If you're looking to gain more blessings out of life, you definitely want to be the best that you can. So on September 1st, we have Saturn going retrograde in Pisces. For us, this is happening in our 9th house. For some of us, this can be, pretty much for all Cancer risings, this is going to be affecting our higher education. So if you are in college, if you're thinking about continuing education, this might be a great time during the Saturn retrograde in Pisces to go back and to look at that. I know personally for me, my midheaven is in the 9th house in Hellenistic astrology and Placidus or tropical astrology. So if you have your midheaven in the 9th house, this is definitely going to be calling out, what am I doing as a career? What am I doing for work? What's my life calling? Type beat. Okay, so we have the September 2nd, we have Mercury going into Virgo. So our thoughts can start to really race on September 2nd. It can be like going a mile a minute, especially because Mercury is no longer retrograde. We might be catching up. But just remember, if you start to have information overload, this is totally normal for this time. And definitely do your spiritual self care, do your mental self care, see your therapist, make sure that you are decluttering your mind at the end and the beginning of every day so that you can show up clear, because there's so much information that can come in during the 3rd house, and we definitely don't want to get bogged down by that. On September 6th, we have Uranus retrograde beginning in Gemini at 1 degree of Gemini, and this is happening in our 12th house. So Cancer risings, we are going to be looking a lot at our subconscious patterning. And I don't know if you're like me, but for me, I personally really don't like 12th house transits if I've been avoiding some type of subconscious behavior or activity. But with Saturn, or actually not Saturn, Uranus and Saturn both are ruled traditionally by Aquarius, and Aquarius is the water bearer, it's the bearer of knowledge. So the more that you continue to grow and gain that knowledge of your subconscious mind during this time, this is a great time to do that, and you will be rewarded. During September 7th, we have eclipse season heating everything up. So we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. Again, for us, this is going to be in our 9th house, which is like, once again, if you have that career aspect happening where your midheaven is in the 9th house, this can be tricky because you're having a real moment of like, what am I doing with my career? What am I doing with my life purpose? Other than that, you could just be having a, faded moment in regards to education, higher education, learning, anything that Sagittarius rules. You could just be having a faded moment. I don't like to do magic during eclipses. I don't think that's a really good time for that. Things are just too chaotic, and the universe will put you exactly where you're meant to be during eclipse season. So, On September 14th, we have another last quarter moon in Gemini. So let's go. It's in our 12th house. And this can be tricky. I really don't like 12th house placements, I'm realizing. And the moon is in Gemini right now. The moon is in my 12th house and personally has a heavy Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and North Node all in the first house. For me, I feel like I just go crazy during 12th houses. So just take care of yourself mentally. And like today, I have my hoodie on. I'm just cozy. I'm vibing. I'm drinking some sparkling water. I am doing some spells. I'm catching up on, some emails, things of that nature. I'm just taking it easy today. So during September 18th, we have Mercury entering Libra. So this is kind of when the planets start to shift forward for us and we start to experience not so much happening in the third house. Our harvest season is continuing onward. So we have we have Mercury entering Libra in the fourth house. So we can start to think and talk about things that are more related to our home. Think and talk about things that are more related to justice around the home. So maybe you are moving into a new home. Maybe you're considering. I feel like with Mercury entering Libra, you're just going to be wanting to communicate more with family and loved ones that are very close by. You're not going to be wanting to like go all the way out there and go on this like voyage across the seas, around this time. It's really going to be intimate communication. I could see like even with your family, if you've had some like family stuff going on, you can start to feel that coming up at this time and be like, actually, that didn't really sit right with me. I want to clear this up. I want to bring justice to this. So on September 19th, we have Venus entering Virgo. So this is Venus entering the third house for us. Venus is, a planet of love, a planet of sensuality. So we can start to feel a little bit more hurried. I think for Cancer risings, this can be a little bit of a confusing transit for us because Venus is all about sensuality and it actually is very at home in Virgo and Taurus. But I think for us in particular, because it does transit the third house, it can feel a little bit more rushed. And for me, rushing is the antithesis of sensuality and pleasure. When I start to feel like I'm rushing somewhere, I really don't have a good time, and it's not juicy for me anymore. It's not pleasureful. So, definitely take some time to utilize this to just catch up on, maybe on schoolwork, on emails. Utilize this Venus and Virgo opportunity to focus on right now just tying up a lot of loose ends, using this busy energy to learn as much as possible, to be the busy bee, to get stuff done, because working like a farmer and following this kind of astrology, you're not working all year round on this like crazy schedule. You're actually just working really hard during some parts of it, and then for other parts of it, you're being more patient and slowing down. So on September 21st, we have the new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. For us, this is happening in the third house, so this could be, new beginnings with communication, new beginnings with maybe even easing our anxieties and really tapping into patience even when our thinking mind, and maybe our inner critic or censor says you need to rush and go faster. We're just finding ways to slow down regardless. On September 22nd, we have Mars entering Scorpio, and this is going to be in the fifth house. So you could find yourself during this Mars transit feeling more connected to our creativity. The fifth house is a great house for dating and creativity. So if you've been feeling like during Virgo season, there is not a lot of time to go on dates with your partner or experience sensuality, and you're just busy bee getting stuff done, or maybe you're worrying and having anxiety. Towards the end of Virgo season, we're going to have some relief with that, and you could be like, I want to focus on my art. I want to focus on dating. I want to focus on pleasure and sensuality. definitely do that with Mars and Virgo, or Mars and Scorpio. And finally, on September 22nd, we have the Sun entering Libra. I'll be covering this in the next video series. This is going to be the best time to focus on the home. But I'm gonna clip in. Hopefully this is Gucci like that. And I am gonna pull a tarot card for Virgo season for Cancer risings. What action do Cancer risings need to take during Virgo season 2025 in order to live their best lives, in order to follow the universe's plan for them? Okay, so we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed, and typically I actually don't read reversals. Here's the card. This is a really old tarot deck. Typically I don't read reversals, but I've been kind of experimenting with my magic and my intuition lately, and I've been noticing that I actually do want to work with reversals. So Ten of Pentacles reversed could be, I'm hearing letting go of familial expectations, letting go of expectations to be at the finish line. Because the Ten of Pentacles, it's all about, it's what every Cancer wants. What every Cancer wants, in my opinion, is the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. We want that big happy family. We want, the dogs to be barking, our beautiful garden, our beautiful yard. We want success and to have loved ones around and to be able to support them when we can. That is a beautiful thing. But during this time, we are just not there yet. And that is okay. It is completely okay. So with the Ten of Cups or Ten of Pentacles reversed, I definitely just want to let go of having this idea that you know what the end result is going to look like, because you don't exactly know what your harvest day is going to bring. You can sow the seeds, but the fruit may not be what you thought that it was going to be. It might just be the medicine that you needed. And with the unconscious, the card that's crowning the deck, we have the Queen of Cups. So for the Queen of Cups, I see that we're using our emotional mastery and our nurturing and sweet energy, because we are the Queen of Cups. Truly, Cancer risings at the end of the day are the King and the Queen of Cups. We're using that innate nurturing and sweet emotional energy to care for ourselves and others, and most importantly, our harvest during this time. So I'm going to pull a card from the needs deck. I will drop my girl Jordy's information down below. She designed this deck and hand painted every card. But we're going to pull a need card for Cancer risings during Virgo season. What is the number one need that we need to meet during Virgo season 2025 in order to follow the universe's plan for us? So I see harmony. Beautiful card. Harmony, peaceful existence and agreement or concord. So this is, I see with harmony, we may need to have a lot of inner harmony in order to move forward at this time. I think that we can almost, it's like a portal. We can move forward so quickly with all of this third house mercurial energy. But in order to do that, the water needs to be still. We need to glide. And for us, the water is our emotional waters. It's our energetic waters. So making sure that we're doing what we need to do to stay spiritually on top of our emotional hygiene and keeping harmony top of mind during Virgo season is huge, so that we can glide into that portal of self-expansion and self-growth that the third house promises. And then next, in accordance with this deck, we have the feelings deck. So what is the feeling that Cancer risings most need to cultivate, feel, and honor during Virgo season 2025 in order to follow the universe's plan for us this season? Interesting. Okay, so we have anxious. How interesting. I believe also Libra risings got this as well, but anxious, worry, unease, or nervousness, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. So I think it's just important to honor that we are going to have feelings of anxiety at this time. As Cancers, we are, like these fish. We're represented by the 69, the giving and receiving. And where there is yin, there is yang. So where you're going to have harmony, you're also going to have anxiety and discordance. So I see that we could be feeling a lot of push and pull. This tension is actually great for creative output as well. So honor the different sides of you during this month. Meet that need for harmony, but also honor the fact that you feel anxiety, because I truly don't feel like you can move forward from feeling an emotion until you honor and recognize what you're feeling in the first place. So with that said, I hope you all have a beautiful Virgo season, and I will see you back next season. Let me know if you have any questions about this kind of astrology, or if you want to see something different in the future. And I'm River, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers.